Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Harakah Kwadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayath, Dawadah, the house of David. So I ran across this video, right? And you can just see how Jake, all right, even though they don't even know that they're Israelites, but they should know if they heard, if they heard us, or if they heard any of the brothers or anybody teaching, they may know, but they're still calling themselves black. You see? Maybe they don't know. But if not, I'm doing this video to let you know that the Hebrew Israelites, man. We're Hebrews. Right? We ain't no black people, we're Hebrews. All right? And the sign of what he's talking about in this video is showing you how the perpetual hatred stems back to the scriptures between Jacob and Esau. All right? So what he's talking about in this video, you're going to see what he's saying, and I'm going to show you in the scriptures. All right? So without further ado, let's go.
Days of us just taking shit on the chin and lying down is over with. No other race would put up with that. White people would have lost their motherfucking mind if an 18-year-old white kid was running away and black cops shot him up. I'm not going for this race baiting shit they doing all over the internet, trying to make us the face of racism. How the fuck is the most hated race in the motherfucking world the face of racism? We face racism from everybody. Y'all try to gaslight us into believing we the hateful ones. No, we act the way we act towards y'all because of what the fuck y'all done to us. They created a system for us to hate each other.
Willie Lynch.
Everybody hates you and you gonna hate yourself.
Well, we see what's going on, man. It's a tidal wave. It's a new shift coming on in the world, and people better be ready for it.
We are no longer the world's doormat. I don't give a fuck what race you are. You gonna come at us with respect, or we crashing, period. That's just what it is. All that, oh man, they're about violence. We learned it from y'all. This is the most violent nation in the motherfucking world. This entire country was built on violence. This entire country is ran on violence. So when we seek our vengeance, don't get to crying about violence is wrong, because it ain't wrong when we the victim. Y'all got a million excuses why we should be victimized. The second we take the law in our hands and one of y'all get victimized, now we the devils. We dealing with the devil. Fuck all that. The days of us just taking shit.
All right, so as you can see right there, let's go into a few scriptures, brothers. So let's go to Genesis 25th chapter and the 20th verse. So a couple points that he had said in the video was that he mentioned pretty much what he mentioned was Genesis the 25th chapter right here. This has been an ongoing perpetual hatred between Jacob and Esau, all right, but mainly Jacob, right, stepping back to the blessing, because this, mainly for Esau, on Esau's part, of him being mad from stemming back to the blessing, and this is what this is all about, because this man right here, knowing his current kingdom right here, that this current kingdom will be eviscerated, gone, and that will be the end of it. And he will go into what you call his a long period of servitude, which is slavery. All right, and the rest of the nations is going as well, but mainly Esau, Edom. All right, because of the perpetual hatred, and that stems back to the scriptures, man. All right, between Jacob and Esau. So let's read. It says, "And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, right, Rebekah, because she was barren, she couldn't have kids, right? And Yahweh was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. She got pregnant. And the children struggled together within her." So what is this struggle together within her, right? Let's go into it. All right. So what is this struggle together? So a struggle meaning to crush, oppress, right? Let's hear the word real quick.
Strong's H 7533, ratsats,
Ratsats, right? To crush, oppress, to crush, get crushed be crushed, to crush, oppress, crushed, to be crushed, to be broken, to crush in pieces, to grievously oppress, to crush, to crush each other. You see? It says oppressed, broken, break, bruise, crush, discouraged, struggle together. Right? So it says crack in pieces, literally or figuratively, break, bruise, crush, discourage, oppress, struggle together. So these two had a perpetual hatred for one another, man. There's a battle between them. And there's been a battle between them in the womb. Crush to oppress one another. Nah, here. Here. You come here. Right? That's why they had issues. They were battling in the womb, man. All right? They were battling in there. Okay? So let's go back. So it says verse latter. Where we at? Oh, okay, 22. It says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? So Rebecca said, why am I thus? Why is all this going on right now? And she went to inquire of Yahweh, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, right? 2 nations are in thy womb. Hebrew Israelites, Hebrew Edomites. Right? Esau, Edom, Jacob, Yaquab. Right? Adawam. Right? Okay? Right? Ishashua. Alright? Alright? Meaning wasted away is he, or Adawam. Alright? Meaning red. It says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 men or people shall be separated from thy bowels. Right? So 2 men or people should be separated from thy bowels. Separation is what? All right? That separation. Right? When you separate somebody, what do you do when you separate somebody? Let's go into it. When you separate people. To be separate. Right? To be separate, divide, to divide, separate, to be divided, to be separate, to be separated, divide, separated, to make division, make a separation. All right? Okay? It says, i.e. spread or separate oneself, disperse, divide, to be out of joint or part, or scatter abroad, or separate, or serve or self, or stretch or sunder. All right. So it says, separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other. Right. Jake is stronger than Esau. All right. Okay. We stronger than you Edomites, man. All right. And the other people and the elders shall serve the younger. Right. And the elder is who? Esau. Esau, you going to serve us, man. You Edomites, you going to serve us, man. The kingdom is coming to us, man. All right. Okay, it says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red. All right, all over like a hairy garment. Now, when it says that red all over, like, now a baby don't come out hairy all over. That's a metaphor, because you can see the simile to it, right? So the word is like. Right? Like. Okay? So it says like a hairy garment, meaning that his body was red when he came out. All right? Not he wasn't hairy when he came out. No, his body was red. Okay? And they called his name Esau. All right? Henceforth, why you think so-called white people today call themselves rednecks? All right? Okay, it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, right? And Isaac was 80 years old, when she bare them. All right, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Who's about hunting, man? The Edomites, man, the so-called white man. A man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, right? Relaxing, about the Lord spiritual. It says, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. Venison is deer, all right, deer meat. Okay, it says, but Rebekah loved Jacob, right? Let's go into venison real quick. Let's go and show you. Let's see if they got it in here. Venison. Nah, they're not going to tell you, but venison is pretty much deer. It says also game or thus taken. It says same to chase or also game, and meaning the same to chase, food, hunter, right? So venison is pretty much deer meat. That's what they, you see. So let's go back here. Where was we at? It says, verse number 27, and the boys grew. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob, right? So there was a distinction there. Rebekah loved Jacob. She didn't have any. Not to say that she didn't have any love for Esau, but she said she loved Jacob. She loved Jacob more. All right, it says, and Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pot. Right, so we couldn't wait. He wanted his meat red. He wanted it rare. All right, he wanted it rare. Now, that's how we know that goes against the scriptures. Eating a meat that's not done. Any meat that's not having any blood in it. You're not supposed to eat a steak with blood in it, man. Still got the life of the animal in it, man. That's in the laws, man. All right? You see? But let's continue on. It says, the same red pottage, for I am faint, right? Because he said he was hungry. He says, therefore was his name called Edom. Therefore his name called Edom, meaning red. All right? Meaning red. Adawam. All right? It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Jacob supplanted him. The word Jacob meaning supplanter, Yaiqua in Hebrew. It says, and Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. Right? Because he was like, man, I want to eat. I'm hungry. I ain't waiting until it's done. Give me it now. All right, wait till it says, and I'm at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And he said, man, he dismissed the birthright. I don't need that birthright. All right, and Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he swore. This is all in the spirit anyway that he was going to give the birthright up from the Most High, from Yahweh. All right. And it said, and he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, right? And he did eat. So he gave him bread and he gave him lentils. Lentils is actually real good. So he had bread, lentils, and meat. All right. It says, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. And thus Esau despised his birthright. He didn't care about it. What did he despise? Let's go into it. When you despise something, right? You despise or hold in contempt, disdain. All right? To despise or regard with contempt. To be despised, to be despicable, all right? To be vile or worthless, or to cause to despise, right? Despise, all right? Disdained, all right? Vile person, all right? To think scorn of vile person, all right? Let's play the word.
Strong's H 959. Bazaar.
All right? So now, Let me get Genesis 27 chapter. So we taking you into the beginning, letting you understand what's really going on, what this guy was speaking about. So I'm bringing out certain scriptures to you to show you. All right? Okay? So Genesis the 20, let's go into Genesis the 27th chapter. And let's start at the first verse. Genesis, so you see the subhead that says Jacob's deception, right? Because of what Jacob, the plan, this was all through the Spirit of the Lord anyway, through the Spirit of Yahweh. All right, that it was going to happen this way. And there was nothing the Lord can do. And there was nothing that he can do about it. It was all going to happen through the Spirit of the Lord. Because he told you in Genesis, the 25th chapter, he said the elder shall serve the younger. Thus forth why Jacob did what he did and Esau did what he did, because the Spirit of the Lord did. All right. It says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am. And he said, behold, now I am old, and I know not the day of my death. Right? So he said, I don't know the day of my death. He says, now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, the quiver and the bow, and go out in the field and take me some venison. It says, and make me some savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, and that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So he's saying that I'm going to give you the blessing before I die, before I give up the spirit. You see? He said, and Rebecca heard so the spirit was on Rebecca, right? So the Lord Spirit hopped over and he heard the conversation. She heard the conversation that was going on between Esau and Isaac. All right. And it says, and Rebecca heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. See, it says, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebecca spake unto Jacob. So she went and talked to Jacob, right? So she said, listen. It says, and Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, right, I heard thy father speaking with Esau, thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make thy savory meat that I may eat. This is all set up through the Spirit. Look, I'm showing you. It says, savory meat that I may eat and bless thee before Yahweh, before my death. Right? And now, therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence, from forward, right? Because the word thence means forward. It says two good kids of goats. All right, and I will make thee savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. All right. It says, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Right? Hey, there you have it, man. These Edomites, there's a distinction. All right? It says, my father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice and go fetch me them. Right? Only obey my voice, go fetch, because the Spirit of the Lord was on Rebekah to tell him to go do it, because the blessing was going to go to Jacob. Like I told you already, the blessing was going to go to Jacob. So the Spirit of the Lord kept telling him to go now, go fetch it. All right. It says, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids, right, of the goats, right? It says the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck, right? And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn, and I have done according to thy biddest me. Arise, and I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because Yahweh, thy power, brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. It says, And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice of Jacob. It says, the voice of Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. It says, and he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hands, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him, and he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. Right? That my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And come near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of the raiment, and blessed him, and said, See that the smell of the son of my son is the smell of the field, which Yahweh have blessed. It says therefore Yahweh give thee a dew. Therefore Yahweh give thee of the dew of the heaven, and of the fatness of the earth, and the plenty of corn and wine. And let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. And cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Woo! See that? All right, so now let's jump down to verse 41, right? Because this is what we want to get here, right? So this is Genesis 27 and 41. It says, And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of the mourning of my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob, right? And that's what's going on. As you can see, that's what's going on right now. Let me read verse 42. It says, In the words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob her son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. All right. So let's go to Genesis 49. So as you can see what these Jakes were talking about, so what I just read to you was a rundown on what these Jakes was talking about. All right. These are the scriptures that's talking about this. So let's go into Genesis. Now Esau gonna get mad. They're gonna try to get mad at the video, try to suppress my video. All right, because what I'm telling you is truth. All right, like they like the shadow ban videos. That's what YouTube does. But anyway, let's go here to Genesis 49. Genesis 49 and 9, and it reads this, and it says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stood down, and he croucheth as a lion, and as an old lion, and who shall rouse him up, right? Who shall rouse him up? I mean, he's being roused up, right? Because you can see what they were talking about are they baiting him in to this? Well, who's rousing Jake up? And as you can see how they were getting roused up, man. All right, and as you can see what's going on around the world, man. And there's a lot of things that are happening, man. All right, But this beef between Esau and Jacob is a perpetual beef, man. It's an ongoing thing. It's been an ongoing thing since the beginning of time. All right? Let's go here to Ezekiel 35. And here, right here, we're going to point it out in Ezekiel, the 35th chapter. We're going to show you. Ezekiel, the 35th chapter. See where it says in the subhead, prophesy against Mount Seir. This is a prophecy, right? That's going on now. All right? This prophecy is going on now. Okay? So let's read it. It says, moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir. Mount Seir is who? Esau. All right? And prophesy against it. And the brothers who are doing that, who are ones who are standing up, putting out videos on the street, doing all types of matters of work, man. All right? That's the exceeding army that Yahweh is raising up, the elect. The hopeful elect. All right? That are standing upon their feet and prophesying against this place, man. All right? Against Babylon, right? Because Babylon the Great, aka America, is Mount Seir, the home of the Edomites. The home of Edomites. Esau. All right? The captain of the boat. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? All right? So let's go here to verse 3. It says, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh, right? It says, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate, right? So this is going to happen. Okay, Babylon the Great is going to be desolate. The Most High going to make this place desolate. He's going to send his son Yahweh Shai back with the angels. All right? Like the apostles tell you, they said, the apostles tell you, right? When we tell you that the only one that's going to be able to stop Esau is going to be Yahweh Shai. All right? Henceforth, what? Isaac. Who gave him the blessing? I'll let you think about it. All right? And the only one to stop him is who? Yahweh Shai. All right? So let's continue on. It says, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt not know what I am Yahweh. That I am Yahweh, right? Because Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai. All right, the Heavenly Father is going to send his second in command, his right hand, his second in command. All right. It says, verse number 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Now the whole point of it is a perpetual hatred. Let's go into it. Let's get up out of there. All right. First of all, let's get this here. Let's get the word perpetual. Right? The word perpetual. All right, so you can see the word perpetual, everlasting, or unceasing, or existing indefinitely, continuing forever in future time, uninterrupted, continuous, and perpetual, without ending. All right, without ending. All right, so the only one that's going to end this thing is going to be Yahweh Shai, because in the kingdom to come. All right, Esau, Edom is gonna get Obadiah 1:18. All right, at the end of their servitude, which is slavery, Obadiah 1:18, night. All right, that's going to be the future of Esau, Edom. All right, so it says to seek out, to aim at, right? To seek out, to aim at. All right, so you get the gist. So let's go back. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and thou hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. Because when a calamity was, what's a calamity? All right, a calamity is this. Let's go into it. This is a calamity. Distress, a burden, calamity of a nation. Distress, right? Distress. That's a calamity. It says, in a sense of bending down, oppression, right? Oppression, misfortune, ruin, calamity, destruction. All right? So it says, in the time of their calamity and in the time of their iniquity had an end. It says, therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, right? Because both of those words there mean Yahweh, Lord Yahweh. All right, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, and shall thou, it says, saith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. It says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and thy hills and thy valleys, and in thy rivers shall thy fall, and thy slain and that are slain with the sword. And I will make thee a perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had these two nations, and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Yahweh was there. All right, you see. So it says, let's continue on verse number 11. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right, it says, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, the Israelites, us, Jacob. All right, it says, and I will make myself known among them, and when I have judged thee, and thou shalt know that I am, Yahweh, that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, right? Because Esau speak a lot of blasphemy, man. Speak a lot of blasphemy. All right. It says, and they are laid desolate, and they are given us to consume. Woo! And they are given us to consume. Woo! It says, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, right? You boasted against Yahweh. Right, and have multiplied your words against me, and I have heard them. And thus saith the Yahweh. All right, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate. When the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate, man. It says, and thou rejoice at thy inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate. So I will do unto thee. It says, and thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it. And then they shall know that I am Yahweh. All right. So now let me get Revelation real quick. Let's get Revelation 12 and 10. Revelation 12 and 10. And it says this, and I heard a loud voice saying unto heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of Yahweh. All right, in the power of his Hamashiach, Yahushai, all right, for the accuser of thy brethren is cast down. Who's the accuser of us? Esau. All right, which accused them before Yahweh day and night, right? Which accused before he accused day and night, man. All right, with their magiles and witchcraft, all of these things, man. All right. Let me get Zechariah, because the brother was speaking about, or the guy was speaking about if a cop, we'll see if he was to shoot down an Edomite, right? Or if they was to bang an Edomite, get rid of an Edomite, right? There'd be World War III. You see? World War IV. So let's go into, because he was speaking about how Jake get killed by the cops when you speaking about that part of it, right? So let's go here. Let's go to Revelation. Let's go to Zechariah real quick, 11 and 5. And it says, whose possessors slay them, right? Who we in the hands of? Esau. It says, and hold themselves not guilty, right? They go in their court systems and they hold themselves not guilty, man. All right, you slay a Jake. One of them Edomite cops out there slay a Jake, and he'll go in his court system. He won't get no damn time for it, man. He get goddamn slap on the wrist, man. Because they'll be back in the chambers. They'll have a good time laughing it up, man. Him and the lawyer and all them, man. All right? You see? So it says, and they that sell them, blessed be and they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. And them set up shepherds, man. Them set up leaders, man. All right? The Al Sharptons, all them niggas is set up, man, by Esau, man. They ain't no leaders, man. The real leaders is of Israel, which is starting with the apostle Tahar on down, man. Those are the real leaders, man. All right? Okay? All right? And examples of our forefathers in the scriptures, man. All right? The scriptures. All right? So them damn set up pastors and all them, they ain't shit, man. All right? They're not about Jake. All right? They don't understand they don't understand what these scriptures is talking about. They don't understand what's going on. All right? Let's continue on. Psalms 55 and 21, because he said this place was set up on murder, rob, and rape. It was. Right? How you think this man got this place? How you think he got America? Our brothers were over here first, man. He came over here, he raped, he robbed, he murdered, he killed him, man. Put him on sugar cane fields, did all types of things to him, stepping on babies' heads, cutting the bellies open of women, letting them fall on the floor, stepping on their head, smashing the baby, killing the baby, shoot the baby right there in the head. This man's a devil, man. There's nothing good about this man. He's a devil. All right? You see? This is Psalms 55 and 21. All right? He comes speaking with a fourth tongue too, man. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, right? With that smooth shit, like coming in there. That's how you bait somebody in when you come in there like that. But your real intentions are to come in and do harm. And that's what this man is about. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, right? But war was in his heart. See, but war was in his mind. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? Yet were they drawn swords, right? Okay? It says, cast thy burden upon Yahweh, and he shall sustain thee, and he shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. All right, but thou, O Yahweh, shall bring them down to the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful man shall not live out their days. And that's Esau. Bloody and deceitful. All right? He said, thou shalt live by the sword. You live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. All right? And that's when Yahweh Shai come back. Is he going to use his army to try to come up against Yahweh Shai? And he ain't going to make it, man. All right? It says, and a man shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Right? All right, so let me get Habakkuk. Let me get the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk, the second chapter. Let's go to the 4th verse. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not, and his soul which is lifted is pride, right? Which is lifted up is not upright in him, right? It's not upright in him. but the just shall live by faith. The just is the Israelites. We're gonna live by faith, right? Especially the elect. The hopeful elect is gonna live by faith. All right. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, right? Philosophies. Esau pushed out his different lies. This is the media, the TV. All right, that ain't nothing but a Satan witchcraft to where it's bringing you into thinking, right? But ain't nothing but witchcraft going on that dummy tube, all right? Okay. You put some truth out there, and he'll put a lot of lies out there to disturb the truth that he just put out there. You see? All right, some things will be truth, some things won't be. But he's not going to broadcast it all. All right? Because this man is a liar. All right? It says, also because he transgressed by one, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, he will enlarge his desire as hell. Right? And it is as death, right? Like we was just speaking about. Okay, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right? Let's jump down to verse number 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. You see? And that's how Esau built this place on. He built it on blood, and he established it by iniquity. All right? You see? So let's go down. Let's go to Obadiah 1 and 10. All right, Obadiah 1 and 10. Obadiah 1 and verse 10. It says, for the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And that's what you devils is going to get, cut off forever, man. You going into servitude, slavery, and then you get in Obadiah 1 and 18 after your 1,000 years. All right? Let's go here. And I'm gonna read to him that I'm gonna tell this Jake, you don't even know he a Jake. All right? I'm gonna tell him why you got enemies on this earth. All right? The nation of Israel have enemies on this earth, and it reads them right here. Psalms 83 and verse 31. A song of Psalm of Asaph. Right? Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. All right? And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Meaning they became proud against thee. Lifted up the head. Who are you Israelites? You ain't about nothing. All right? It says, and they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Crafty counsel is what? Crafty. What does somebody do when they're real crafty, real slick? All right, crafty counsel. And they came together and they had a council together. All right, against thy people, against who? The Israelites, and consulted against thy hidden ones. The hidden ones are Israelites. All right. All right. It says, and they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. And how they did that? Different bywords and proverbs. Different names. Black, African American, Jamaican, Dominican, Haitian. Bywords and proverbs, man. Those are not your names, man. You come from your respective tribes, man. Jacob all the way down to Issachar, man. All right? Those are your true nationalities, man. You come from tribes, man. We are a nation with tribes amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? And it says, and they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. That they have consulted together with one consent, right? With one mind, all right? That they are confederate against thee. All the nations, all these other nations are confederate against thee. We're about to read them now. The tabernacles of Edom, all right? Starting off, that's the first. Perpetual hatred, ongoing hatred, as I just read. Why wouldn't he be mentioned first? Okay? It says, in the Ishmaelites of Moab, the Hagareans, Gabal, Ammon, and Amalek. Amalek is the grandson of Esau. All right? Who today, which we call the little baby hats. All right? they call them little round tops. All right. It says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashar also is joined with them, and they have opened the children of Lot. Salah. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Arakar Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who well, peace and blessings and salutations to the Hopeful Elect, the Bayath, Dawadah, the House of David, Shalom, Ba'al.